look after them. But anyway, so over to you for Melissa.
Okay, Melissa. The one I've picked for you, Melissa, is called Contemplation. Now, my understanding on contemplation really is a place where you go and spend time, like quiet time for yourself. And this picture that I have, let me kind of describe it to you. You got a girl sitting in a kind of lotus position, obviously doing a contemplation, and there's a swirl, a very large swirl coming from her. Around her now it's quite calm, but in the swirl around her there are sort of a number of elements, a number of items. One is like a book, which close to her it's open, but as it gets further away, it closes. There's a thing, well, I suppose a box. It looks a bit like a coffin, and close to her it's open, and like there are three sort of stages of the coffin, where one is open and it's obviously revealing some knowledge, and then the second one from it, it's got the lid which is above it, but in almost just opening, and then the third one, which is further away from her, is completely closed. So it's like what I'm trying to portray here is that doing contemplation, you're able to open up these. I suppose, as you look at things in your life, you take a quiet time. I suppose if I can give you the basic one that I do myself is I would sit, say, take a few deep breaths, and then on the outgoing breath I would sing a word "hue," just like "hue," just like that. So I do that for I would probably try and do it for maybe 15-20 minutes, and in the process, now I wouldn't need to do it constantly, but take a rest now and again, and in the process close your eyes. And if you can see with your eyes closed, maybe on the inner screen, you may be able to see light. And also, if you listen, you may be able to hear sounds. Now, I know what I would try and listen for is sounds within yourself as opposed to the outer sounds. So if you listen to sounds like, I know, there may be air conditioning going on, or there may be a washing machine or something in the background. So, right, click those off. Say, right, I've heard that, and now I know what that is, I know what that is. And now, is there a sound then within yourself that you can listen? So, as you're sitting there, then you've got the sound and hopefully the light as well, and they may come together to form a scene that is going on in your life, and as that scene sort of passes by, you may get an overview, like a higher viewpoint of it. You may see it from a different angle, and so it's like what I'm doing in the picture, where the box begins to open, and you see things that you didn't see before. Another part of the picture, there's a complicated looking, it's actually a pump, but it's a complicated looking piece, and it breaks apart into its individual pieces, and this is the kind of thing that kind of I find happens in contemplation. So that might be useful for you, Melissa, if that's
Oh, right. So thank you for that, Melissa, and hope that helps you there. And this comes in from Ellie, and she says she'd love a picture reading, and she's at a crossroads.
At a crossroads.
So there you go, Ellie. So it'll be an interesting picture now that comes out here. So
all right.
So Ed is shuffling them away, and he's going through his beautiful artwork. If you would like to see these while Ed was talking, I put a little link on irishtarot.com. So if you just log on to irishtarot.com, up the top there in the middle of the page, you can click on the link, which will take you directly over to Ed's pictures, and it's called Ed's Pictures Art, and it's up the top there of irishtarot.com. So there you go. So that's on there if you didn't get the link earlier. So log on there, and it's there for you. Right, so over to you, Ed.
All right, thanks very much, Dave. Thanks for
makes it a bit easier there.
Yeah,
so
good.
We'll give you lots of URLs. Yeah. Everyone knows irishtarot.com. So.
Of course, yeah. Just read Melissa's or
Melissa's at a crossroads. Sorry, excuse me. Ellie is at a crossroads.
Sorry.
She puts a little kiss at the end of it, so you're doing that.
All right, thank you, Ellie.
So she's got a crossroads.
Okay. All right. Well, right. The picture I've picked out is titled "Path of Lives." Now, if I can describe it, it's kind of looking at a spiral. It's kind of, I know if you've seen a picture of a DNA strand, it's not dissimilar to that.
It's beautiful, actually.
Now,
it's all blue and bright.
Yeah, and it goes like it's the spiral is actually a path or a roadway, and it goes from the bottom. It's kind of dark, and up at the top, it's light and bright, and so what I'm trying to portray here in this is, if you look at the picture, there's rough areas, like there's quite rocky areas. There's things in the way of the path, like it's not an easy path to follow. There's also paths that go off in different directions. So where in your life, you go off in a different direction and you decide, no, that's not the way. So you come back and you continue on what is really your destiny, or your true path. So I suppose, Ellie, it's really, life is an educational process. You're going from, you're learning as you go along. So every step you take, you're progressing. Sometimes, you might be in the thick of things and it's pretty hard. It can be pretty rough. But you are learning something, and you will get through it. And it is a positive. It's a positive move. Is there anything else there, David, I should describe on the picture?
Well, I think they're your cards. You're the expert on them. I think it's quite beautiful. What I like about this particular picture is that the way you've described it, there's like a main beam of energy that goes right through it.
Yeah, that's
very fascinating.
Yeah, it's kind of a waterfall that's kind of flowing down through the middle of the spiral, and kind of it's lighting the area as well, which I think is kind of like our own inner light as well.
And actually, honestly, you've got a crossroads halfway up through it too. So I suppose my interpretation of this, you're the expert, but my interpretation would be that, well, I think definitely that the way she's going at the moment is pretty much on the right track, actually, and that she shouldn't really be so worried. That's how I would see this.
Yeah.
But, that's just from my point of view.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
No, well, like the pictures are, open to your own interpretation. Like
I've even got meanings on them too. Like, for example, this particular one is like you've written here: for others, life is a series. For others, life is a series of paths. As we live more, we learn more. Take an occasional detour, but these mistakes teach us a lot and help us realize the direction so we should be aiming for. And you picked this at random, didn't you?
Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating that it totally picked up on the direction and everything? Wow. No, they are really beautiful, and I'm really impressed with those. So let's go. We'll have time for one more, and then we really have to head on because we need to take a break. But just before we do, so this comes in from Trisha, who wants. She says, "I'd love the journey." Right. So
the journey.
But I think she's saying the spiritual journey because of the spiritual journey. A4 cards, aren't they? So, or the journey of the soul.
Right. The